When I beat round 76 in CHIMPS, I get $1,500. But if I regrow farm, I get $12,000. My channel has usually been about beating CHIMPS with the least amount of cash possible, but what you might not know is that I also hold the record for beating CHIMPS with the most amount of cash possible. Normally in a CHIMPS game you get $178,909, but in my run I did last year I spent $256,000. A few people have talked about this bug before, but across all of YouTube for the 6 years this bug has existed for, there isn't a single video of regrow farming being explained correctly, nor has there been a video of an optimized most cost CHIMPS run, so I might as well do that myself. First, I'm gonna explain how regrows work. Every balloon inside of a regrow has an internal variable that controls whether or not it gives cash. These variables are turned on or off when needed. I'm going to represent them here with colors. Here's how they work. Let's say you pop a zebra and it regrows into 2 zebras. The cash variable for the zebra layer turns off for both of them. You already got cash from the zebra layer. In addition, if the regrow splits into more than one child balloon, which a zebra does, then each of the regrown balloons has 1/2 of its children turned off. For example, with my 2 zebras here, the black balloons and their children for each zebra give cash, while the white balloons and their children give nothing. This is to make sure that the amount of active cash variables does not increase. There's 2 more rules. If the regrowing does not involve splitting, which is everything pink and below, then the cash variable works exactly as you would expect it. It just keeps track of whether or not you pop that layer. And the final rule is that if a balloon that has its cash variable already off is popped and then regrown, the new children it generates do not have any active cash variables. It's just 4 simple rules with the goal of not allowing new cash variables to be spawned. Now the question is, does this work? Surprisingly, it actually does. There is no way to generate more cash variables than you're intended to. The bug actually comes from the calculations themselves. The system works fine if you pop 1 balloon at a time. There's no bugs to talk about there. The problem is with towers that deal more than 1 damage. Here's how they work. This sniper deals 2 layers of damage and it's shooting at this regrow white. The calculation for how much money should be earned goes layer by layer. First, this top white layer already has its cash variable off, so no money is gained. Then it checks the pink layer. The pink layer has its cash variables on, and there's 2 pinks, so $2 are gained. This is an example of it working correctly. But let's go back to our original zebra example. Here we see that the black and the white layer have 2 different cash variables, and this is where the bug happens. When the sniper evaluates this layer, it sees that the cash variable is on for at least one of the balloons, and it decides that the entire layer should give cash, meaning that from this layer it will gain $2, even though there was only 1 active cash variable. There we have it, that's our extra cash. Here's what it would look like if we intentionally regrow farmed a zebra. We pop the zebra down to pinks and let it regrow fully, which creates 4 zebras that each have 1 strand of pinks that give cash. Now we can get extra cash by popping each zebra with a tower that does more than 1 damage. For maximum efficiency, we'll kill it in 1 shot. The sniper evaluates the zebra and black layers to not give cash, as there are no balloons with active cash variables, but then it gets to the pink layer, where it will give 4 cash per zebra despite there only being 1 active cash variable in each. This is repeated for the yellow through red layers, and you have gained $20 extra from this regrown zebra. Repeat with the 3 other zebras and we've made a total of $83 from a regrow zebra that was only intended to give $23. Here's the optimal cash gain for all the other regrows. So let's apply this knowledge to a real game. Luckily, I actually still have that footage from my $256,000 video, so I'll be showing you that. Pink balloons and below do not split, so there's no regrow farming that can be done with them. For the blacks, whites, and zebras, I'm just hitting them with a microraptor and then letting them regrow. For the rainbows and ceramics, we're doing something similar. Use glue strike and snowstorms to do exactly enough damage to turn them into pinks, and then let them regrow. And we'll be killing them in 1 hit for maximum efficiency. There's been a lot of misconceptions about regrow farming, and the biggest one by far is that an insta-kill is needed. It isn't. Anything that does more than 1 damage is capable of regrow farming. Another thing that people do wrong is that they use knockbacks. A lot of people try to regrow farm with things like tornado druids, and that's super inefficient. Things like druid or downdraft aren't ever going to be near optimal for this because they have attacks that deal damage, and they turn off cash variables basically uncontrollably. I'd imagine that the reason people use these towers is because that's what popularized regrow farming. The first time regrow farming got attention was because it got a 2 towers chimps with ball lightning and permaspike, and tornado wizards were the most popular regrow farming choice in BTD5. But it's a terrible idea if your goal is to make as much money as possible. You want to keep it controlled and keep it simple. Don't turn off cache variables when you don't need to. Snowstorms and glue strike to damage balloons while slowing them down and giving them time to regrow is going to be your best option here. That's most of it. But while you're here, I do have some other things to talk about, the first of which being that I am actually monetized now. Now, if you're familiar with YouTube requirements, you might notice that I actually don't meet them. I haven't had 3 videos in 90 days for about a year now, but YouTube gave it to me anyways, so now I am profiting off of you. And once a YouTuber gets monetized, they have a big decision to make. Do I want to have mid-roll ads? How much am I willing to ruin your experience to make money? And I'm proud to announce that I am not going to. I declare Smart Persan to be a mid-roll free channel. I'm still gonna have the start of video ads though. YouTube puts those on videos regardless of if they're monetized or not, and I'd rather the money be mine than YouTube's. But the point is that my 10 loyal fans and the 1100 people who hit subscribe on accident can rest assured that I am not going YouTube pilled. I'm still only going to post content that either contributes something new or is a chimps run I'm proud of. Oh, and speaking of chimps runs, it's been a while since my last least cost chimps. Burnout, college, you know the usual deal. You know, I've only ever been requested to make 1 video on YouTube ever, and I've had that same request about 10 times now. It's, can I get the cheapest Dark Dungeons chimps ever done? And the answer is yes, I am doing that next video. I'm not quite done with that video yet, but it's already something I've put a lot of effort into, and it's something I'm proud of. Beyond that, I have pretty limited plans for my future videos. I do intend to make a review on PlayStation and Switch, and maybe an updated Xbox One, when they get released. But honestly, after that, I'm interested in Cardstorm content. Hopefully the game is good enough to make videos on, and I think I could use the small amount of reach that I do have to try and make like a weekly tournament server or something. We'll have to see about that one. Anyways, enough about me. Back to the game, and we have the same game plan as before, but round 79 will need a tower with enough pierce to handle the 4,000 rainbows I'm gonna have to clean up. The best tower for this is T-Rex, but I'm gonna choose Pop and Awe here because I can afford it, and because round 79 is so laggy that I would rather have it end instantly rather than over time. Anyway, after 79, that's the last of the regrow farming for the video. Of course, I also used the round 100 cash bug to get even more money, and our final score is 256,000. That's about it for the video. The description has all of the little things about regrows that weren't worth mentioning. That's it, bye.